Okay, now, what if we have something like this? So we have this quadratic, trigonometric function in quadratic form, but this is not factorable. So -2 is a prime number, so 2 is a prime number. We've got 2 primes, so there's no way we are going to get a factor of 2 that's going to add 2 factors of 2 that's going to add up to 6. So this is not factorable. So what other thing do we have in our toolbox that we can use that helps us solve quadratic equations? The quadratic formula. Okay, so we're going to use the quadratic formula on this case. So how do we do that? Well, the quadratic formula gives us values of x. But in this case, what's the variable? It's going to be sine x, right? Sine x is the function, right? Just remember, it's ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? Okay. But in this case, x is taking the place of sine x. So when we use the quadratic formula, it's going to be sine x is equal to what? So the formula, right? Okay, so the formula is what? Oops. Right? So the formula, if you look at A, B, and C, is what? Okay, this is where, again, you're going to have to review or you're going to have to look it up. Okay? So A is 1, B is 6, and C is -2. So remember, it's negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared, oops, minus 4AC over 2A, right? So in this case here, A is 1, B is 6, C is -2. So B is 6, so this is going to be -6 plus or minus the square root of B squared, which is 6 squared, minus 4 times A, which is 1, times C, which is -2, divided by 2A, 2 times 1. So now let's simplify this. Oops. So this is going to be -6 plus or minus the square root of 36 plus 8 over 2. And yeah, so this is going to give -6 plus or minus the square root of 44 over 2, which is going to simplify to -6 plus or minus, this is going to be 4 times 11, so I can simplify the 4, which is going to be 2 times the square root of 11 over 2, and then of course I can divide out the 2, right? I can factor out a 2 on the top and cancel with the bottom. So that's going to give me -3 plus or minus the square root of 11. So now we know that sine x is equal to this. Okay? Well, how are we going to solve that? Well, we've got sine x is equal to -3 plus the square root of 11, or we've got sine x equal to -3 minus the square root of 11. Okay, now keep in mind we know that if this was 9, we'd have 3 here, right? Okay, the square root of 9 is 3. So we know it's bigger than 3. Okay, so think about this. If we have negative 3 minus square root of 11, we're going to get something that's bigger, definitely bigger than 1. Okay, so this is out. This is not going to be a solution, right? So we can cross that one out, right? What about this one? Again, this is going to be bigger than 3, but it's positive, so we're going to end up subtracting. So this one you're going to have to put in your calculator because it's bigger than 3, but again, how much bigger than 3? Is it 4? Well, okay, well we can figure this out, right? So it's going to be positive, but is it bigger than 1, positive 1? Because if it's bigger than positive 1, then it's not a solution either. Well, to be 1, to have this equal to 1, it'd have to be 4. This would have to be 4, which would be the square root of 16. Well, we know that it's obviously less than 4 then, so we know that this difference is going to be less than 1. So guess what? It is a solution. Now, again, put it in your calculator and figure it out. Okay? But now, we can figure out in your calculator how to do this. So how do you do this? Well, it would be arc sine or inverse sine. So we know that then x would equal the inverse sine of negative 3 plus the square root of 11. Now you can put that in your calculator, right? So put this in your calculator and then take the inverse sine of it. And then that's going to be approximately equal to 0.3222, I think. Is that what they get? Yeah, 3222. So then, oh, by the way, since it's positive, right? Since it's positive, we know sine is positive in either the first or second quadrant, right? Oh, and by the way, they give us a restricted domain of 0 to 2 pi, right? And the other solution because of this here, it's going to be yeah, it's going to be this and then minus pi. So the other solution would be x equals pi minus the inverse sine of negative 3 plus the square root of 11. And you can put that in your calculator too, which is approximately 2.8194. So that's going to be approximately 2.8194. And again, if you use your graphing calculator, those are where the x-intercepts are going to be. And again, you can verify that using your calculator. Have a great day.